This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
A local man who helped create a pro-life documentary is here to talk about the pro-life march and where you can see his film. Happy Friday, friends. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Ken Cara, and remember, this broadcast is available in stunning HD on Service Electric Cablevision Channel 513 and anywhere, anytime with the Samsung Productions app. And here's our Friday headlines from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Today marked the 45th annual March for Life in Washington, D.C. Over 100,000 Americans were expected to travel from all across the country to participate in the event in our nation's capital. Among those making the trip, students from Marian Catholic High School in Tamaqua. The theme of this year's march is Love Saves Lives. Lisa Sugart has more on the walk and a documentary about pro-life.
Today marks the annual pro-life march in Washington, D.C. I'm pleased to welcome to our studios a man who has attended it on many occasions, Don Gallade. He is also the producer of The Voice of John, and that is a documentary on the sanctity of life. He's the former vice president of Pennsylvanians for Human Life, currently a member of that organization. This day is very important to you, correct, Don?
Well, every day is important, but today is a day when people meet in Washington and try to bring awareness to the world on the importance of the sanctity of life. Some years the crowds are a little thin because of the weather. Some years the crowds are huge. But ultimately the goal is a peaceful, prayerful, vigilant message that we want to send primarily to the members of our government who don't seem to be well educated on pro-life and what it really means.
For the years that you've been involved with this, which you said has been basically most of your adult life, how has the climate changed? Are things changing, or do you see things changing or getting worse, better? Well,
you know, there are some states that have very, very few, if any, abortion clinics now. I think Kansas was recently touting that they have very few clinics that are operating in that state. I think a lot of the young people are recognizing the importance of the sanctity of life, and it's a refreshing change that we are seeing the numbers in abortions drop. But, you know, it's not about, you know, a finger wagging saying, you know, you're right, I'm wrong. You know, what the message that we really need to get people is it's about education. I have very, very close friends that have passed away from illnesses of drug abuse and from alcoholism, and they've actually had abortions in their past and they never really recovered. So, you know, it's not about, you know, don't do this. It's about, if you have had a situation in your past, there's healing, there's places that can help, there's organizations that are specifically designed to help people realize that Christ died for our sins and there's nothing that can't be forgiven. And then secondly, for every baby that's aborted, there's a family somewhere willing to adopt that child. So we could talk about this from a spiritual level, from a financial level, from a legal level, from you know, any different types of argumentative approach. The bottom line is, God said murder is wrong. And for every child that his life has been snuffed out, there's somebody that would be willing and able to adopt that child.
You did this documentary. How many years ago has it been now?
Documentary came out in 2012, and it was based on Marianne Lawhon's story, where she physically, back in 1973, when the ruling first came out of Roe v. Wade, there was a baby that was left to die on a utility table, and the baby was still alive. And Marianne said, "Look, this child is alive," and they said, "That's an abortion, leave it go." And she named the child John. She baptized him, and she said that she will tell the world his story, and that's where The Voice of John comes from. And this film is designed basically to be a womb-to-tomb sanctity of life. And once again, it's not about saying who's right and who's wrong. It's expressing the truth. When people see the truth about this industry, pro-choice would indicate that there's actually a choice. But really, the pro-choice folks have one goal, and that's a dead baby. If they were truly choice, they would say, here's your adoption options. Here is having the baby and keeping it. There's the option. Choice is one or the other. unfortunately, that's really not the case, and it's really a financial issue. The abortion industry makes a lot of money, and it boils down to the bucks.
If someone would want to watch the documentary, it is available. Where do they watch it?
Actually, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to post the documentary on my Facebook page, so they can find me on Facebook, Don Galade, and I'll post it on our page.
Thank you, Don, for coming in and talking with us today. And again, if you would like to view the documentary, The Voice of John, you can go to Don Galade's Facebook page.
Thanks, Lisa. In other news, Hazleton police apprehended a man wanted in connection with an attempted homicide in Tamaqua. U.S. Marshals contacted city police about locating 26-year-old Rafael Valdez Torres. He was wanted on charges related to an incident on October 10th. The suspect was taken into custody this morning on West Diamond Avenue in Hazleton after the department's Special Operations Group was brought in to surround the area. And a well-known office supply business in our area is closing its doors. Staples in West Hazleton will close in March. The local store opened its doors back in 1998. It's located in a strip mall near the Bowl Arena just off Susquehanna Boulevard. A spokeswoman for the national chain told our media partner, The Standard Speaker, that the last day of business will be March 3rd. Staples will operate stores in Wilkes-Barre, Bloomsburg, and Cressona. One fire department in our area has donated some uniforms to its counterparts in another country. The Santo Domingo Fire Department of the Dominican Republic recently received 40 firefighter uniforms from the Hazleton Fire Department. Victor Perez, the president of the Dominican House in Hazleton, received the donation from the city and then in turn presented it to the fire departments of Santo Domingo and La Vega City. The recipients were very grateful for the donation, which will be used to help them fight fires in their country. SSPTV News is pleased to announce a new feature. Starting in February, we'll recognize the Volunteer of the Month. With so many wonderful nonprofit organizations and compassionate people in our viewing area, we would like to take the time to say thank you. You, our viewers, can nominate a person, a couple, or a group for this special honor. Email the name of your nominee to lisa@ssptv.com. Tell us why this person deserves the recognition. Each month, we will select the Volunteer of the Month and feature them here on SSPTV News. You can also mail nominations to Volunteer of the Month, care of SSPTV News, 109 West Broad Street, Hazleton, PA 18201. This weekend's NFC Championship game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings has triggered a friendly and tasty bet between the governors of both states. Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton has wagered a 5-pound Pearson's salad nut roll if the Eagles win, while Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf has offered 5 pounds of Tasty Cake butterscotch crimpets if the Vikings win. The state capitol building in Harrisburg will also be lit green starting tonight and through the game on Sunday to show support for the Eagles. The Hazleton Area Arts and Humanities Academy will present a Parent Information Night on Monday, January 22nd. The event will take place in the Hazleton Area High School auditorium at 7 p.m. Coming up, I mix Star Trek with the tale so far of the 2017-18 Penn State Hazleton men's basketball team. And up next, Chris has more cute animals up for adoption at the Hazleton Animal Shelter. This is SSPTV News, your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Yesterday, we talked with Hazleton Police Chief Jerry Speziale about new numbers that show that crime is down in the city of Hazleton. Today, our Lisa Sugar continues her conversation with the chief, this time talking about positive changes that are being made to help reduce the numbers even more.
We will be hiring officers. We'll get up to approximately 42 officers, which is in compliance with the federal grant, the COPS grant. In doing that, it will put much more people on the road for patrol. It will also give us the opportunity to go into this group intervention, which is being used in Chicago, New Jersey, New York, all over the country it's being used. And what is the group violence intervention? What it is you identify the 2% that commit 99% of the violent crime in any urban center. And then once you identify them, you bring them in. And you bring them into this call-in, and you sit down with them and you explain to them, you have your federal counterparts, your social service entities, and you explain to them that there's an alternative to crime. And we will help you with that alternative to crime or that life of crime. However, if you do not take this, we show them federal prisons, we show them our federal counterparts, they all get to speak, the mayor will speak, I will speak, and then what will happen is, at the end of that, we will sit down with them and give them the opportunity to change that life. Because today's shooter becomes tomorrow's victim, and tomorrow's victim becomes the next day's shooter. So what we want to do is get the message out. First gunshot that goes off, the first drug deal that goes down, the first violent crime that's associated with your group. We will have a group-focused deterrent team that will focus on that entire group until we either prosecute you or arrest you or do what we have to do to make sure that you stop committing crimes in this city.
And you can read more about the latest crime stats in today's Standard Speaker and at standardspeaker.com.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
All right, let's get ready for the weekend with our forecast here from the National Weather Service. Tonight, mostly clear, and we will have a low of 27 degrees with west wind from 8 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, we're up in the 40s, mostly sunny, high of 42. At night, we'll get down to 29 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Sunday is partly sunny with a high near 39. At night, we have a 30% chance of some rain, mostly cloudy, low of 36. On Monday, 40% chance of rain, cloudy, high of 42. Monday night, rain is likely, low of 38 degrees. 50% chance of rain on Tuesday. We will have a high near 38 degrees, may even see some snow, and then at night we'll get down to 24 degrees. Off to the green screen before we go off to the Hazleton Animal Shelter. Your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers: pick 256, hey 570 for the pick 3, pick 4 9944, pick 5 18428. The wild number is 2. All right, Chris Barkanek, show's all yours.
Hello again. Here I have with me Leah. Leah is an approximately 1-year-old hound mix who, like all of our animals here at the shelter up for adoption, is already spayed and current on her vaccines. Leah has already been tested for heartworm and Lyme disease, and although she came up negative for heartworm, she did come up positive for Lyme disease. Just like any dog who tests positive here, she is currently being treated with antibiotics, and we expect her to make a full recovery. Leah, as you can see, is a bigger dog, so we recommend anybody who is an experienced dog owner to adopt her. She seems to do well with other dogs, but as always, if you have one of your own, we would want to do a meet and greet to make sure they're going to get along with each other. Leah has a lot of energy, being only a year old. We recommend lots of playtime and long walks. That's it for this week's dog. Let's have a look at our cats. And here I have with me Sushi. Sushi is an approximately 6-month-old kitten who, as you can see, is very affectionate and lovable. Sushi, like all of our cats that are up for adoption, is spayed, current on all of her vaccines, including her rabies and feline distemper shots. She's also been tested for feline leukemia and FIV and has come up negative for both. Sushi is a new addition to our female colony and is currently on her own. We do know that Sushi loves people and loves to be petted. It's also worth mentioning that not only is she a Siamese mix, but she has a really beautiful color pattern to her, and one can even see traces of tortoiseshell or calico on her ears. That's it for this week's pets. If anybody at home is interested in adopting Leah, Sushi here, or any of the other animals we have up for adoption, please come on down to the Hazleton Animal Shelter here at 101 North Poplar Street.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
The Kobayashi Maru is a test at Starfleet Academy in the Star Trek universe. Bear with me here. I even think I talked about this on the news before. It's a test that is supposed to put cadets in a no-win scenario. James T. Kirk beat the test by reprogramming it because he didn't believe in no-win scenarios. I'm bringing this up because I love Star Trek and because the Penn State Hazleton men's basketball team has faced some tough challenges so far this season, but they refuse to give up, and their coaches even found some positives in their current situation. This kind of plot would happen a lot on Star Trek the original series. The USS Enterprise would come under attack, they would go to red alert, and Captain Kirk would call down to engineering demanding more power, and Scotty, the chief engineer, would say something like,
I mean, they're giving us everything they got.
Yes, that was Penn State Hazelton men's basketball coach Jeff Rush, and his team has been at red alert for most of the 2017-18 season, with 7 key players missing from the roster. However, just like Captain Kirk, Rush has accepted the challenge with his staff, and he's even having a little bit of fun with it.
Our coaching staff, I mean, we work a lot of hours. Myself, Coach Stanavich, we have Coach Ron Can up here, and Coach Steve Fior. So the 4 of us, I mean, we are constantly talking on the phone, sending some sort of text messages, watching film, doing something, trying to find a way. And so far, we've been okay. I mean, we're 2-3 in our league. We're 1 game out of a playoff spot. So we're fighting, we're scrapping, and hopefully the 4 of us can continue to try and find a way for our guys. And our guys, this is a great group of guys. Although we've lost a bunch, they are just a great group of guys to coach. Everything we want to try, they go 100%, and I hope it works out for them.
One of the players who's helping hold things together is sophomore point guard Robbie Hopkins from Crestwood High School.
Robbie Hopkins rarely turns the ball over, gets 6 or 7 assists a game, hits the open 3, plays solid defense, gets guys in the right position. I mean, without him, we would be probably in serious trouble. I mean, he's our leader on the floor. He's our coach on the floor. Thank goodness he's healthy. I don't know if that's one guy we could afford to lose right now. He's our 1 point guard, and just a great kid who's having a great year.
Marian Catholic graduate Brandon Muhammad leads the Penn State University Athletic Conference in rebounds per game. But guess what? The freshman has been battling injuries. It could be easy to get frustrated with so much going against you, but the local Lions refuse to give up the fight.
There's obviously times where you get mad, but not where you want to give up or anything like that. I think what we have now and how we're doing, I think it's all right.
Has it brought you guys closer together in a way?
I think so. The guys we have out here now, there's only 10 or 11 of us, so we all know each other. We're all comfortable with each other, so it's definitely helping.
And who knows, even with the changing lineups and strategies, Penn State Hazelton may still end up in the PSUAC's final frontier.
You know, maybe this brings us together. Maybe we find a way. Maybe we become a playoff team. We're still right there, like I said, 1 game out. And, you know, these kids, they play hard. So if they do find a way to get in, you know, anything's possible.
Well, live long and prosper, Coach Rush. Now to our SSPTV standard speaker scoreboard. North Schuylkill is still undefeated in Division I of the Schuylkill League with a win over Tamaqua in girls basketball. Mono Area is tied with Marion atop Division III. They beat Tri-Valley. Marion, they got a win over Williams Valley, while Lourdes beat Shenandoah Valley. The Hazelton area boys bowling team beat Governor Mifflin on senior night, and the girls took a loss. That's it for my end of sports, but it's not the end of sports. Here's Ron Marchetti with Short Shots.
Game night. The Cougars try to stay perfect at home tonight while hosting the Tunk Tigers and at Reading tomorrow. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Short Shots. Joseph's Jammers are 9-0 and counting. The Lady Cougars lost 2 in a row this week after winning 7 in a row to Crestwood and Holy Redeemer. But Gabriel's gals rebounded last night at Tunkhannock. They're 8-4. Let's review. Hazelton area defeated a very good Dallas team by 17 on the road. Josh Samick led the way with 23 with much help from Joe Grula, who had 18, Demir Faison 17, and Jeff Lanutis 15. A couple of Emilys, like the Cougars, are playing like speeding locomotives out of control. Weatherly Jr., Emily's Ocean, scored 58 points in 2 wins last Friday and Monday before topping it off last night by scoring her 1,000th career point. And sophomore Emily Schad scored 18 in a huge Marion Phillies win over Lourdes Regional by 3 on Monday, and ditto that 18 last night as the Phillies beat Williams Valley to run their overall record to 11-2, 6-0 in the league. The Marion Colts beat Jim Thorpe by 3 earlier this week, but the really big news was the Mahoney area Lady Golden Bears snapping the defending state 2A champs Minersville's 41-game winning streak. The Lady Miners had not lost since the state semifinal in 2016. What else? Hazelton area's basketball team is still ranked number 3 in the state behind Plymouth Whitemarsh and Abington. On the national scene, Eagles beat the Falcons 15-10 to advance to the NFC Championship game. The Patriots trampled the Titans 35-14. The Jaguars stunned the Steelers 45-42, and the Vikings pulled out a miracle win over the Saints 29-24. So on Sunday, the Eagles and Vikings will meet in Philly, and the Jaguars and Patriots will clash in Foxborough. The 2 winners will then play going in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, February 4th. There was more disturbing news this week. Keith O'Nelly Jackson, one of many favorites TV announcers, died last weekend at age 89. The last game that he announced was Texas' last second win over USC in the BCS National Championship game at the Rose Bowl in 2006. Finally, I would like to commend second-year Hazen area cheerleading coach Lindsay Maduro for at least starting to do something that should have never been for the last 25 years. Honor the true colors of the Cougars, scarlet, silver, and white. You could ask any 100 local fans, and you might get 3 that would know. I still hear it, go red, go white. Not right. There's a ton of schools that are red and white, but only one, scarlet, silver, and white. Playing the alma mater before the national anthem at games is the right thing to do, and screaming the correct school colors during cheers is also the right thing to do. Happy birthday to my granddaughter, Miranda Wenner. Good night till Monday. Be a good sport and stay loose.
Good evening, everyone. Here's today's Talk of the Town. We'll kick off today's social report with the 21st Annual Country for a Cure. This event will be on January 27th at the Freeland Event Center. Ticket deadline for the event is January 24th. If you purchase a $35 ticket, you may get a cocktail hour, dinner, and unlimited draft beer and soda. If you purchase a $10 ticket, you will receive a cash bar starting at 7 p.m. For more information, you can call the number on your screen. There will be a Super Bowl sale on Saturday, January 27th at Christ Lutheran Church in Cunningham. You may pick up soup from 12 noon until 2 p.m. You must pre-order by January 20th. A kindergarten registration in the Hazleton Area School District for the 2018-2019 school year will be held in the Administration Building by appointment only on the days listed on your screen. To make an appointment, you can call 570-459-3111, extension 3000. And that's today's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send our sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Eldon Clark Clemens of Quakeake. Services will be held at a later time under the Latimer Christ Funeral Home in Hometown. Kathleen Kathy the Cosmo of Hazleton. Mass is Saturday at 11 a.m. at Most Precious Blood Church in Hazleton. Friends may call Saturday from 9:30 to 11 a.m. in the church. The Joseph B. Conahan Funeral Home in Hazleton is in charge of the arrangements. And Robert Fulton of Drums. Services will be held at the convenience of the family under the Harmon Funeral Home in Drums. Attention pay-per-view subscribers! If you see your name now on SSPTV News, you can call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Today's winner is LJ Mattioli Jr. of Sugarloaf Township. Call now and leave a message at 570-455-7267, extension 104, for your free movie.
You know that bet between the governors of Pennsylvania and Minnesota over the NFC Championship? Well, I looked up that nut roll candy thing. I don't know if I'm into it. We might be getting the short end of the stick. I don't know. If you're watching this in Minnesota, I apologize. I never tried it before, but Tasty Cake's pretty good. Good luck if you're an Eagles fan this weekend. It's been so long for them to make it to the Super Bowl, maybe win their first one. We'll talk about it next week with Dave Seaman. We'll see what happens. Thank you all for watching. Remember, if you missed anything, go online, ssptv.com. Also, we have the Samsung Productions app. We'll see you next week. Take it easy, everyone.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.